How successful has Thurston County been during this pandemic? What has changed in the county? What changes are to come? To talk more about this, we have Thurston County Manager Ramiro Chavez. Hi Ramiro, thanks for joining us today.
Good morning, Robert. Good to see you. Thank you.
Yeah, you too. And so how are things different for you? Pretty much everything's different, yeah?
Well, like everybody else, our lives have changed from a personal perspective as to how this pandemic has affected us all, from the stay-at-home order and how a lot of individuals and citizens have been affected financially through this pandemic. Um, but also from the services that we provide to our citizens have also changed. As you know, the county offices are closed, and we have made a great effort to continue to provide services to our citizens. So we have a lot of staff telecommuting, as well as we're providing a lot of services online. But certainly, the customer service counters are closed, so we don't have the option for the citizens to come in and do the business they need to do. So that is has been a change, certainly. So obviously, our level of service has been reduced, and we're also in the process of planning how we're going to be reopening here in the future. So the areas that have been affected the most is the law and justice areas of our county, and that goes from the courts to the prosecuting attorneys to Office of Public Defense, as well as our jail. But also, they have made a tremendous effort to be conscientious as to how they have been able to reduce the exposure of the citizens who come in and be involved in the law and justice systems. We have been able to reduce the jail population by 30%, and that has been a great attempt to reduce any potential outbreaks at the jail, which that's probably, at least from my point of view, is one of the great concerns that we had.
Mm-hmm.
From
Yeah.
the response to this pandemic, our public health and social services, as well as emergency services departments, have done an incredible job in responding to this emergency. Even before the state-at-home order, we established the Emergency Operations Center, which is located at Taylor Road, and we brought a team of individuals as to how we systematically going to be responding to this emergency, and both from the public health perspective as well as from the emergency services perspective. And those are the key elements. And all of us have been following their leadership in a way as to how we need to move forward and provide the right information to our citizens, accurate information to our citizens, and also be prepared to adjust, because this emergency has put us in the position to learn in terms of the plans that we had, the continuing of operations plan, the good plans as we call it. We have developed those plans over time, but also this putting in practice on this long-term response in this big pandemic has put those plans to the test. We have learned a lot. We continue to adjust. But certainly, the main objective is to make sure that we continue to respond to this emergency. The coordination with state and federal levels continue to be part of this strategy, and as well as trying to provide to the best possible services to our citizens, considering the circumstances.
Well, Thurston County seems to be doing really well. I just heard on the radio on the way over, just over 100 cases and only one death. So kudos to you and your leadership for making that happen. I think we've been very responsible here. So how different
Yeah,
has it? Go ahead.
it is a team effort, and again, I think we have taken the steps uh, uh, very quickly, even before the governor ordered the state healthy order. We start closing the county offices, and it really start making sure that we provide strategies to avoid that any outbreaks by the citizens coming in and having that as a risk. So it's really, we took this very seriously, obviously, as everybody else across the nation, I believe. And well, I think we were very fortunate to implement the strategies early enough. And I think what you see is paying off.
And I'm sure it's really different to manage the county right now. What's changed and what services have been affected the most?
Well, let me begin from the top, if I may. The board meetings with the Board of County Commissioners have been obviously changed. And we have taken a couple of steps. Obviously, when we closed county offices, one of the biggest challenges was how we're going to be allow the citizens to participate on those meetings. Although the governor provided a little bit, some waivers on the um, Open Public Meetings Act, the OPMA, which gave us some tools as to how we provide access to every single meeting the commissioners have. As you know, we by law, every time the two commissioners meet, we need to put place on an agenda, and we have to make sure the public access that. So we incorporated a couple of strategies. We have live stream every single board meeting and board actions and board briefings, live stream in our YouTube channel. Also, we established a conference call, so any citizen can call in and participate on those meetings, either via computer live stream again or a conference call. Obviously the citizens will continue as they have exercise their right to access the elected officials via telephone or email, and we'll continue to have that feedback as we move along. So that has been a little bit of a change, a little bit of an adjustment, not just for me, but also to the county commissioners. They'd like to be engaged and involved on obviously on the healthy discussions they have as they legislate the county. So having the Zoom meetings in a way and having live stream has put a little bit of a barrier in a way to have those discussions. But so far, I think it's working okay, at least from my point of view. And for me, the main objective is to make sure the public sees what type of actions the commissions are going through. So that's in the larger context. From the legislative point of view, some of the changes that we have implemented. We have changed how we drafted the agendas. We have changed how we bring items to the commissioners for their consideration and action. And again, we continue to adjust as we move along. Internally, one of the challenges is going to be, obviously how we manage those employees who cannot come to work. Because we closed the county offices. And so our IT department has been pivotal and extremely successful in working with every single office and department to allow telecommuting. So we have provided access to those individuals who can telecommute. And we have been very successful on those elements of telecommuting. But also, I believe the office and departments have been very strategic in rotating individuals for those who cannot perform, come to work, or cannot telecommute. So the rotation aspect has been part of that as well. So I think the innovation is something that probably has surfaced as a positive element of this pandemic as to how we can conduct business, not just now, perhaps in the future. And I just have to tell you that in some instances, telecommuting was a little bit of resistance. It has put us in the position to exercise that option, and for a lot of county employees have seen that as a value added that perhaps may be with us in the future.
Right. Yeah. So the next question is here: do you believe some of these changes will stay? Will you do some more telecommuting with your employees? Will you have these meetings over Zoom? I mean, we don't know when shelter in place will be lifted, but looking forward, are they beneficial? some of the changes?
Yes, absolutely. And again, the telecommuting aspect is actually beneficial, and I do believe that is going to be part of our business model in the future, not just now. But also, we have exercised a lot of, for instance, e-inspections on those activities that have been allowed under the state at state home state healthy order. There are individuals or developers or construction activities that need to be inspected. We have exercised that, what we call e-inspections, electronic inspections. Either via telephone or picture, the inspector can see the progress of any aspects of that construction. So we implemented that strategy over a year ago. But I think under these conditions, it has put us in the position to really see the value again of continue doing that and more in depth to that. So that is really some of the benefits of that. When the stay at home, stay healthy order is lifted in a way. And again, we're preparing ourselves as to how we're going to be slowly bringing back to that because the social distancing is going to be part of us, the way we conduct business for foreseeable future until we get a vaccine. So how we're going to be protecting the employees, our employees, as well as protecting the public. This is really what I think is taking a lot of my sleep, in a way. But again, if we can continue to implement telecommuting, thus reducing the number of employees who come into the office, and as a result, we're going to have a little more space in the office. Hopefully, that will put us in the position to comply with the social distancing. Also, we're going to working with the health officer at this point. And just now, I received a guidance from her that perhaps we're going to be requiring cloth masking to employees as well. And we're in the position to supply those cloth maskings to employees when they come into work.
Okay, so those are probably some of the first steps that you're looking at as this relaxation of the shelter in place comes about, and so wearing masks. And can you think of other things that you're anticipating would be the first steps toward, relaxing
Well,
the shelter in place?
yeah, the our business is going to change, and our business is going to change here in the near future, and perhaps in the foreseeable future in terms of the financial impact. And the financial impact, as you know, is on the private industry has been very deep, but also on county government. We'll see the effects of the lack of sales tax. Perhaps the property taxes may be reduced as well. So uh, we're in the process of assessing how big this impact is going to be. And it's difficult because it's one thing having a one event that tells you the right impact, and then you know how much that whole is, and then you make plans as to how you overcome that particular gap. This is different.
Mm-hmm.
This is an evolving impact, and we don't know because we don't know when we're going to be in the position to say let's go back to normal, if that is a normal ever be. So when the economy gets to a point and it start moving along, only then we'll see how that recovery will be. And it's going to be a lag time, at least from the county and any local government, as to how we're going to put our hands around to that. So in the short term, we're seeing the how we're going to be starting mitigating the financial impacts to the county, and obviously the services will be affected along the way to our citizens. And it's not just this year, obviously, but also the revenues they might be coming in the year 2021 and 2022. So strategies we may need to take, actions we need to take this year, may be carrying over into 2021 and 2022 as we prepare the budget in the fall of this year.
Okay, yeah. So you're thinking about budget right now and worrying about that, and I can see why you're not getting sleep. But you know
Well,
what?
in this everything is a cumulative effect, and a cumulative impact. That we need to make sure that we do all this. Is one thing is making sure we open the facilities, county facilities, and again to protect our employees, to protect the public, but also making sure that we have a financial sustainable future.
Hmm.
And that is for, at least for right now, is a little bit of unknown. We
Right.
have models, we have made some projections as to what will be the gap. But again, it's hard to say. Somebody used this term as a cloudy uh, um, 8 ball in a way,
Yeah.
because you really don't know. Is a cloudy crystal ball. You cannot see very well uh,
Hmm.
beyond the next couple of months.
Yeah. Answer is unsure.
Yeah.
Well, we should let you go, but are there anything else that you would like to mention or talk about before we let you go today?
Well, and what I believe that is, and all of us have heard this phrase, all of us are in this together. You
Hmm.
know, and the sacrifices that we make right now is really seeing the positive consequences to our future. And it's not the future to ourselves. I think is the future to our families, and as well as the future to our community. And we as a human beings also is part of that deal. So I understand the tremendous sacrifice and the impacts this pandemic has to our citizens. We see the rise in unemployment. We see the rise of the financial impact to the businesses. If we rely on that to have a prosperous economy, to have a civil society in a way. So I understand all that, but also I understand, I believe, the obligation that we have to be part of the solution that will have a long-term consequences, positive consequences to this. It all shall pass, I believe. We will recover from this because we are a resilient community, a resilient nation, and human beings are resilient as a whole, and we'll find a way to mitigate this. But it's going to take us a while. Patience.
Right. Well, thanks, Ramiro, and great job. Thurston County's doing a great job. Like I said, just over 100 cases, 1 death, doing fantastic. So,
All right.
thanks for your time today.
I really appreciate the opportunity. Take
Okay.
care, Robert.
All right. For more information on changes to county services and updates on COVID-19, go to thurstoncountywa.gov. That's all we have for you today. Tune in next time for more updates. Again, if you have any questions or suggestions for something we should cover, send an email to rkam@tcmedia.org. Stay home, stay updated with Thurston Community Media, and stay safe, Thurston County.